This is Bill from Line Offroad, and today we are doing an oil change on the new 2025 Toyota 4Runner 6th Gen 4Runner. This is going to be the first oil change for this. It's got 1,400 miles. I'm going to go ahead and get the break-in oil out of it, get fresh oil and a new filter in, change it again at 5,000 miles, so 3,700 more miles or so. And at that point, I'll go ahead and get on my 5,000 mile interval rotation from there. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's first show you what we're going to need to get this done. This is actually going to be a piece of cake. It won't take long at all. All right, let's go see what we need. Okay, this is what we're going to need. Obviously motor oil. It takes 5.9 quarts total. So I got 10 quarts here. So you're going to need at least 6 quarts to get this done. Here's an oil filter. Here is the part number for this for reference. Here are some crush washers. We're going to need those. Various sockets. I got various wrenches here too for your filter. And a torque wrench. I'm probably not going to use that. The drain plug calls for 30 foot-pounds of torque. I've never used a torque wrench on a drain plug before. I doubt I'll do it now, but I got one here anyway to show you. It's 30 foot-pounds, like I said. So that's all we're going to need for this, and some various rags and towels if you need that too in case you spill, and a drain pan, which is already under the 4Runner. All right, let's crawl underneath and get going. This shouldn't take long. All right, here we are underneath. The first thing I'm going to do, this is a TRD off-road, so it comes with this skid plate, if you want to call it that. It's plastic, so it's not really much of a skid plate. But what you first need to do, just go ahead, need to remove these 4 bolts. There's one here, one back here, and then another one here. So go ahead and get those 4 bolts off. Now to get to the oil filter, which is right there, you can't see it, I need to take off another plastic skid pan. Plastic's better than nothing, I guess. So here's a bolt here. Again, it's another 12 millimeter, just like the other one. Bolt here, bolt here, bolt here, and bolt here. Let's go ahead and get those removed. All right, here's the filter, as you can see. And one thing I want to point out is that right there is a little piece designed to direct the fluid, the oil from the filter into the pan. It looks like it's still going to get a little bit on the cross member here, but it's certainly going to be a little bit better than not having that. And also, it's a good thing here that we no longer have the cartridge filter that the 5th gens had, which seems to cause so much angst with everyone, myself included, quite frankly. So I think whoever put this on at the factory probably did it a little bit too tight, to be quite honest with you. Well, actually, it's not really hitting the cross member. Actually, it's I'm pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. Tell you what, that's sometimes just the little things, you know. Sometimes just the little things really helps to minimize the mess. All right, let's let that drain for. Oh well, now we're on the cross member. All right, let's go ahead and let that drain for a minute. All right, as it's draining from the filter, I wanted to just show you something really fast. Here is the filter, the new one for the Toyota here. Part number I already showed you on the box. Again, but by comparison, this right here is the filter from my lawnmower. It's a 22 horsepower Kohler engine. Now, I don't know what you think, but shouldn't a filter for a vehicle be larger than the filter for a lawnmower? I mean, come on, Toyota. I mean, you have an engine here that is going to produce a lot of heat with turbos, and you should be replacing fluid more often, I think, than 10,000 miles. I know that's the interval. But that's the biggest filters you can put on here. I just think that's a little bit, maybe that's me. Maybe a larger filter might be better for this vehicle. I don't know. But it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and down below again and go ahead and get the filter put back on. All right, we have a new filter here. And what I noticed when I took the plastic cover off of this filter is this filter, the gasket was pre-lubed. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before at all. And I've been working on cars. I'm 60 years old and I've been working on cars for 45 years. I've never seen a gasket pre-lubed. I put a little oil on it anyway. But yeah, it was a pre-lubed gasket, which I'm interesting. I'm actually kind of impressed with that. But go ahead and get that screwed back on. And oil filters, folks, don't really need to be all that tight. All I do is get them good and tight with my hand. Like I said, I just get them good and tight with my hand and then snug them down with the filter wrench. Not all that tight. That's it. Just enough to compress the filter a little bit, or the gasket rather. That's all you need. They're not designed to be all that tight. All right, now we've got the filter replaced. Now we can move on to draining the pan after we clean this up a little bit. All right, here we are underneath. Go ahead and get this drain plug out of the way. It's a 14 millimeter, by the way. And by the way, it's probably a good idea before you change your oil to go ahead and warm it up a little bit. It kind of gets the contaminants suspended into the oil a little bit, and make sure they get drained out along with the oil. Just good practice. All right, it's still dripping a little bit, but I'm done waiting. I'm kind of getting aggravated with it. For those of you who are wondering if some of the parts from a 5th gen might fit here, the 6th gen, very few will, but I can tell you that the crush washers are exactly the same size. I had several of those left over from the 5th gen, so guess what I get to do? I get to use crush washers. I don't have to buy new crush washers. How about that? Every little bit helps, right? So let's go ahead and get this get this cleaned up before I stick my wrench on it. And again, like I said earlier, it calls for 30 foot-pounds of torque, but I've never once used a torque wrench on an oil drain plug. So, and actually 30 foot-pounds is actually fairly high for an oil drain plug, but Toyota can do that because their oil pans and their plugs are still both steel. Aluminum or alloy or something like that, you cannot have a 30 foot-pound torque spec on something like that. It would strip it all to pieces. So again, we're okay. We're done here. Now here we are up top. Everything down below is buttoned up. So go ahead and get this cap off. Set it aside. Get a funnel. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, there's the anti-splash inside here, inside the valve cover, doesn't really allow for the funnel to fit in there very easily, but we can make it work. So again, capacity is 5.9 quarts, so it's roughly 6. Let's go ahead and get this whole jug in, then we'll add a quart, or close enough to a quart. You know, one thing, if you watch my channel, we have yet to see my cat, Peanut. He oftentimes makes a cameo appearance here for my videos. Yet to see him here in this video. So maybe we're almost done. Maybe he'll show up. Who knows? All right, there's 5 quarts in. See if we can't get another quart in here. Let's get a little bit more. Now, I don't like to go ahead and put the full 0.9 in here first. Go ahead and get it close. Check for leaks. and then make sure the level's right. So let's go ahead and get that set for now. That's close enough to, get it started and check for leaks. Let's get the cap back on. Crank this thing up and let it run for a second and then check for leaks and level. All right, I had the engine running there for a second, but I didn't film that. You wouldn't be able to hear me anyway. These engines are actually kind of loud. Some people think there's something wrong with them, almost like a rattling sound. That's not the case at all. They're just loud engines. So let's go ahead and check the oil level on the dipstick. Should have settled a little bit enough now. Should have settled enough to get an accurate reading. Yeah, it looks like I'm about a third, maybe a little bit more quart low. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more oil, which is kind of what I expected. Check it one more time. Perfect. Perfect. We are good to go. That is it, folks. All right, one thing we need to do before we're done is to reset the oil maintenance reminder. So let's go ahead and get into settings here, up to vehicle settings, go to oil maintenance, reset data. You see how it says 8,652 miles left because I only have 1,300 miles or so on this thing. So go ahead and hit that yes, reset complete. That is it. No more of like the 5th gen where you had to get the trip odometer up and turn the key on and off and back up, and that's all there is, folks. We are done. All right, everybody, that's it. Oil's done, refilled, everything. I need to put the skid pans back on, but I'm not gonna have you watch me do that. That's it. This is actually easier than the 5th gen, much easier with the spin-on filter, and I'm glad they got rid of that cartridge filter versus the spin-on filter. You can debate the effectiveness of one style versus the other, but for simplicity purposes and ease of maintenance, this spin-on filter is better. And let me mention one more thing about oil changes. I know I've stressed that already about 5,000 mile oil intervals, and I'm going to do 5,000 mile oil intervals on this, especially because of the additional heat generated by the turbos. I think that's vitally important. And for those of you who want to insist on taking your vehicle to the dealer, you can do that if you want to. The Toyota Care thing isn't really all that. They're only going to change it every 10,000 miles for you, and it only lasts 25,000 miles. So you're getting 2 free oil changes, if you want to call them free. They're not even really free. And you're getting 5 tire rotations from Toyota Care. So is it really worth your time to go back and forth 5 times for them to rotate your tires and twice for an oil change? We spend $50,000 to $60,000 for these vehicles, and if you got a pro or a trail hunter, you're spending a lot more than that. Is it really all that necessary to save a few bucks on an oil change from the dealer? Because for those of you who think that the dealer is the best place to get this done because they're the folks who are trained and work on these things and they know exactly how to take care of your Toyota, not so much. The master technicians are not the ones servicing your oil. They're not. You got a guy in the back who has to do 10 or 15 of these things a day, and he's trying to get it done as fast as possible. So I've heard horror stories about dealerships. If you have a great one, more power to you. But I've heard horror stories about, you know, stripping this, breaking that, not even refilling with oil. I mean, I can go on and on about horror stories from dealerships. So find a mom and pop, a reputable mom and pop place to do it for you if you're not going to do it yourself. or do it yourself. It really isn't that hard. I've been messing around out here on this camera trying to get things right, but if I didn't have to worry about the camera, this is probably a 20-minute job. Okay, so piece of cake to do it. It really is very, very easy. So again, that's my soapbox on oil changes, especially with dealerships. And with this one, it's super, super easy to do. Again, told you I kind of wish you'd get a little bigger filter. Can't do anything about that. Oh, well, guess who's made his cameo appearance? Here comes Peanut. Just walked by my legs here. Well, he's camera shy today. Anyway, this is Bill from Line Offroad. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and a like. And if you want to subscribe, great. I have some new videos coming out as well. I have some product reviews that might be coming from some folks who've contacted me for some things for this new 6th gen. So subscribe and you'll be notified when I release those videos. Sometime within the next month, you should see a couple more from me. All right. Again, Bill from Line Offroad. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the trail.